Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hey, it's Olivia. Welcome back to Divorce Happens. Today I want to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough airtime in the divorce convo. And that is the slow, quiet, almost imperceptible way that a long-term marriage can erode your sense of self. Not through one dramatic event, not through obvious abuse or a single catastrophic betrayal, just through time, through accumulated compromise, through the slow drift of putting someone else's needs, their preferences, and their comfort at the center of your life for so long that you one day look up and realize you have no idea who you are anymore. Oof, if that lands somewhere in you, stay with me. This one's for you. Here's how it usually happens, and it doesn't start as erosion. It starts as love. You meet someone, you build a life together, you make compromises, which is what people in relationships do. You start to shape yourself around another person, their schedule, their preferences, their moods, their needs. Maybe you move for their career. Maybe you scale back yours. Maybe you stop seeing certain friends because it was easier not to. Maybe you start ordering what they like at restaurants, watching what they want to watch, going to places they choose. Slowly, gradually, in ways so small they're almost invisible, you start to disappear. And the insidious thing about this kind of erosion is that it rarely feels like loss while it's happening. It feels like being a good partner. It feels like compromise and flexibility and keeping the peace. It might even feel like love, because you were taught that love means putting someone else first. That a good spouse is a selfless one. That wanting things for yourself is somehow selfish. So you keep going. And the longer the marriage, the deeper the erosion can go. By the time many people arrive at divorce, especially after a long marriage, they don't just feel sad or angry or relieved. They feel disoriented. They look in the mirror and don't fully recognize the person looking back. They don't realize they can't answer basic questions about themselves anymore. What do I like? What do I want? What kind of music do I actually enjoy when nobody else is in the car? What would I order if I was the only one thinking about myself here? What do I believe? Not what we were supposed to believe together, but what do I actually think? Those questions can feel trivial, but they are not trivial. They are the beginning of coming back to yourself. Here's what I want you to understand about this process of losing yourself in a marriage. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are foolish. It means you were human and you loved someone and you did what people do in long-term relationships. You adapted. The problem isn't that you compromised. The problem is when the compromising only ever went in one direction. When you were the one who kept adjusting and shrinking and accommodating, and the relationship never asked the same of them. That is worth naming clearly. Because a lot of people in this situation blame themselves entirely for disappearing, when the truth is that some relationships create the conditions for disappearing. Some dynamics actively require one person to make themselves smaller so the other can stay comfortable. And recognizing that is not about assigning blame. It's about understanding what actually happened so that you can consciously choose something different going forward. So what does coming back to yourself actually look like? That's a great question. And it starts really small, genuinely really small. It starts with noticing your own preferences again and taking them seriously. It starts with making one decision a day that is entirely based on what you want, with no negotiation required. It starts with reconnecting with things you used to love before the marriage absorbed them. A hobby, a friendship, a part of your personality that went quiet because it wasn't welcomed or valued. It also sometimes starts with grief, because when you begin to see the full shape of what you lost, not just the marriage, but yourself inside of it, that is its own kind of reckoning. And it deserves space. You are allowed to be angry about the years you spent making yourself smaller. You are allowed to mourn the version of yourself you didn't get to be. And you are allowed to decide, firmly and deliberately, that whoever you become on the other side of this is going to take up a lot more fucking room. That is not bitterness. That is reclamation. And it is some of the most important work divorce asks of you, if you're willing to do it. You were always in there. You just got buried for a little while. And the fact that you're asking these questions, feeling this disorientation, looking for yourself again, that means you're already on your way back. Okay, that's it for me today. Just remember, you are so much further along than you think. And I'll see you next time. Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.